Hi everyone, welcome. This is Dalis. You might know me as Stamper Girl. I'm here for the Christmas in July event with crafting Kimmy stamps. It is a day full of crafty fun featuring free classes by us, the design team. There are going to be some challenges in our Facebook group and a huge, and I mean huge, sale on holiday stamp sets and stencils. You should be here on July 26th. If not, check it out. You come later. This schedule is, I'm going to go over it in Easter time at 9 a.m. We're going to have a journal layout with Alexis, and she's going to be featuring Cozy Christmas Kids and Perfect Pies layering stencil. Then at 11, it's me featuring Holiday Bears and the Birch Tree stencils, which is a recorded video. And then at noon, it's going to be a gift bag and tag with Patti featuring Yummy Christmas and Perfect Postage stencil. At 1, it's a card and ATC combo with Alexis featuring Puffing and Paws and Let It Snow layering stencil. And then at 2 p.m., our final class is a Scrapbook sketch and instructions by Lindsy, and they will be posted featuring season's tweetings. So make sure that you join us, have some fun. Let us know if you have any questions. This class, I am going to keep it at a regular pace. I am not going to fast forward it. It should be about 30-35 minutes. You can pause it at any time. If you have any questions, just post it here and I'll keep an eye on it. Or you can also make sure that you post it in our event calendar or our Facebook group. And if you tag me, I'll probably see that over there even faster. So the original card here was the one on the right with the two bears from Holiday Bears. And I have to say, I love this card. Okay, here are all my supplies. I am going to be using my die cut. This is the original card where I got some inspiration, but I felt that it needed a little bit more in the background. So that's where the birch trees is going to come in. I used some nesting dies, different nesting dies. I wanted to show you that you could do anything. You could be circles, anything. We're going to be using Holiday Bears, and I decided to use a different bear. And we're going to use some papers, some green papers to make our trees. And again, birch tree, like I mentioned, to add a little bit more interest into the background. We are going to need a 4-inch by 5¼ inch of craft cardstock, a scrap of pattern paper, again, a little scrap of watercolor paper, or if you're going to color with your markers, marker friendly paper, it's up to you, and a white card base. Okay, so I will be using my little sidekick to cut out my watercolor paper. So watercolor papers have a wrong side and a right side. Like some people like to have, so the texture side, because I'm using cold press, it's challenging to color sometimes. So mind you, some people tend to just flip the paper and use the back. I will let you know that it does work a little bit different. So if you're one of these people that I'm like, oh, it's harder to stamp on the texture side of the paper and just flip it, try the texture. Use a stamping platform and try the texture part, because it does behave differently. Okay, so I am cutting my watercolor paper, my pattern paper, and now I am going to use so I cut the smaller one for the watercolor paper, and then I am using the same size, the bigger one, to cut from my pattern paper and from my craft panel. This craft panel, I'm just trying to make sure that I have it nice and straight. I am going to put it through, because what I am doing right now is I am actually not putting the paper on top of it. It's like a puzzle piece. I'm just putting it in it. Okay. So we could have done the stenciling first, But hear me out. The reason I'm doing my stenciling after, it's because I wanted to make sure that it was in a section that I kind of liked where the aperture is. Okay, so I'm gonna move it around to make sure that I like how the stencil is looking with the location of the aperture, because if you notice, I wanted to make sure that the aperture is to the right of the card, is not center, is more to the right. Okay, so I am coming with birch trees. And the way I love the stencil, the way I like using and attaching my stencil to my paper is I like to put my washi tape on the back. So that is my little tip and trick for you. So I just want to make sure that if it tears any little piece, I am covered. Okay. But this washi tape that I have, I also like, most of the time I only put one piece of washi, because I like that hinge action that you just saw, because I can check and see, oh, do I need more? Where do I need it that I need to go over again? And then I am just adding a little bit of distress oxide. You can use any color. This would have been really, really cute with white. So either picket fence or one of your white pigment inks. Lots of things. There's so many. Like, this stencil goes with everything. Okay? So I like that. You see, it's perfect. I love it. It's just very, very nice. I needed a little bit on the left side. And there it is. Just very, very simple. So I believe this is ground espresso. I'm going to add a little bit of water to add a little bit of texture, but I am running out of water. That's why I'm putting it like this instead of spraying it, because it's not coming out of the spray because there's so little. Now that we have cut all our pieces and our stencil part is done, the reason I'm starting with this is because I know I was going to splatter it, and sometimes it just takes a little bit of time for drying. I am using afterwards my baby wipe, and this is going to make it a little bit darker, but not much more. And do remember that once this dries, it will dry a lot lighter. Okay, we're going to put this on the side, and we're going to start by stamping our images. I was going to do the two little bears, the bears talking and giggling, but then I decided, oh, you know what? Let's do one of the different bears. And the one that I'm going to be working on is the one with the snowshoes. Oh, I forgot. I think I end up doing a little bit of blending around the edges of this, but I don't know if it's right now. I am putting a little bit of washi tape and then just fitting it like a puzzle, the little piece of pattern paper that we cut out the same size. This is again the large size die cut of the two nesting ones. But again, it could have been a circle, it could have been ovals, it could have been any size. Okay? So this is the idea of what we are trying to achieve. Remember, we're going to try to do some trees. You could use die cuts, you could use your Cricut, you could use any of your cutting machines. I am using this fabulous, and I mean fabulous piece of basil cardstock that I had. And I'm going to cut about, it's funny because I said, I'm going to cut about 1.5 to 2 inches. And I'm like, oh, maybe I should cut a little bit more, cut 2 inches. And then I go, and it's exactly 2 inches. When you've been working with paper for a long time, this is what happens. You can actually cut stuff at exact size that you want. Bringing down a paper, I did fold it in half, and I'm just drawing a pine tree. As simple as that. Like, just some areas. I am making a bit of a curvy look, And then some areas, like you notice, it's a little bit too square, and I will come back later and fix it like that. There. That first cut, oh Lord, no, don't make it so straight. Um, unless that's the look you're going for, okay? Here I start going a little bit more curved and jaggedy, and that is what I really wanted for my card, okay? So I am cutting it right there on the fold. Do not throw away that leftover, okay? Do not throw it away. You are going to see what we do with it. Here I am fixing and just taking all that right, all that area that is just way, way too straight for me. And this may not have been the right scissors to use, probably something that it gives me a little bit more control. But here's our pine tree. Look, pine tree done. I am going to come later with some watercolors to add more texture. You could come with paste and add some snow. You could, which probably would make sense since I'm using the one that is walking with the snowshoes. But there we are. You see? Wasn't that easy? Like super easy way to create a tree. Now, I did make a few more, but I wanted to show you something. You see that leftover that you got? We're going to use that. Yes, ma'am. We are going to use that. We are going to cut the bottom a little bit jagged. And now you have the two pines that are coming out of the card. Isn't that fun? No waste on these ones. So you can make some really fun scene in no time. One cut and you get your focal tree and the two on the back. Then you can make one more tree or two more trees in no time. I'm like, seriously, this was such a fun experiment to try. And I'm just going over how do I want to place it, and this is my final. I go like, ooh, I like this. I really like that one smaller tree up there in the front, covering a little bit of my nested die. And you could do a little bit of a brown trunk if you wanted to. That's what I was thinking here. But I decided, you know what? We're going to keep it simple. I did not add trunks on this one, and I loved it. Yes. And we mentioned that we used the little two bears, but I love him because I love that he's like walking towards you, coming and offering a hug. I am just, this set is such a cute set, and they are so small. They're so quick, like so quick to color. I'm cleaning a little bit. By the way, you could have done different greens for the pine trees if you wanted to. But I decided just to use a little bit of basil cardstock because I'm in love. I love the texture that they have. You could have also crumpled the paper for after you cut it. That would have brought a lot of texture to it. But I just kept it simple. I am going to put a little bit of tape here. I was not in the mood to go and peel this. This in the bottom is one of those sticky mats, but it's like a silicone one, and it is a hassle to pull from the actual. And I went way too hard on there, and you can see that my left side of my stamp, the line is a little bit thicker, but I'm okay with it. We are going to be okay with it. We are going to keep working on it, and we are just going to put away my stamping platform and make sure that I clean out, because I did use one of those inks that this is the VersaFine one, and you could have used Wicked Black. I just don't have Wicked Black yet. It's in my list of things that I am grabbing from the store. I am using the Prima Marketing Odyssey. These colors are fantastic. And if you notice, they match pretty darn well the colors in my pattern paper. So I'm going to activate my watercolors by just spritzing a little bit the colors I want, which are I think I activate all three browns. and then I activate also the red and the green. And I think I even activate the white, even though I end up not using it. I was going to do some splatters, and I totally forgot to add a little bit of extra snow to that card. But that would be a beautiful finishing touches to add some splatters for white, for snow, and then add some bling to it. I just wanted to make sure that I did not make this class too long. Okay, I am cleaning up my paintbrush. This is a tiny paintbrush. Like, I mean, it is so tiny because this is a small image. And these watercolors, if you have never tried them, they are super, and I mean super pigmented. So the way I like to watercolor is I always try a wash of the color. So I add the color and then I add a pretty good amount of water, because I just want to see if that was the color that I wanted. And this helps me a lot. And since it's a wash, you're not stuck with it. You could put layers on top and you can make it work. I am coloring his entire body, and he is just, no time, he is colored with this wash. I am going to do a green, I believe I ended up doing a green scarf and a red sweater. And oh my God, he is so darling. Now here I am coming with a bit of a stronger version of that same wash. And it is dramatic. You know, it's a lot of pigment. But it's okay because I am going with a pretty dark color here for a finished version. So I'm coming back with the wash again, and I am blending what I just added and seeing if this is the way I want to have a finished edge. Then I'm coming back with a darker color again, and I'm going to be playing with this. And you see me take the brush to the back of my hand. That is how I like to control water. I don't like to control water more of the dabbing into a paper because I don't know how much water is on my paintbrush then. This way I can control it. I can see what is left on my hand. I can actually grab back from the back of my hand and be done. Okay, so here is, I'm trying to make the center of the face a little bit lighter, and what I ended up doing is adding a little bit more of darkness and contrast around the face, which makes the center look lighter. I just love him. I love the way he looks. And don't forget to add tiny bits with the tip of your brush to areas, to even the smaller areas need a highlight in a low light or a shadow section, okay? I love him. He is seriously the cutest thing ever. So we are just rinsing the brush. I don't have to be an exact clean brush because I'm going to go into my greens next, and I had a brown. So that's just going to make a fun green. You see here, this is bright. And then I see a little bit yellow here, and I'm going to bring it here. You see how that yellow immediately changed and how different it looks. It's because of how concentrated these pigments are. And oh my God, he looks adorable. The green is almost the exact same color as my pine trees, which is making me so happy. Here, remember, after you let them dry, you could have come with a gel pen and add little tiny lines. So it's like a stripe, cute little scarf. So these are all details that you could add later on. And it would be adorable. So here I am mixing my red. This red is strong, and it's a very vibrant red. I am coming and mixing it a little bit with my wash, that brown wash that I had at the beginning, just so it blends better with the brown. So these colors, they all go together. They're all in one palette. But sometimes you want to make them look more cohesive. What you could do is you could actually mix them together in between them. And that just helps them out just look like they go together, that they coordinate together. Okay. So I did come with a little bit of a darker mix of the concentrated. And now I'm going to bring the wash of my brown and just mix it in. And look at him in his adorable red puffy sweater. Again, you could do like little tiny black lines. If you wanted to look like a puffy sweater, that would be super cute. I am going to color his snowshoes in that orange color that we activated, that top orange color, but I'm going to mix it with my brown, my original brown, and my wash, again with the same concept that it's going to help it look like it's all goes together. And again, this paintbrush is teeny tiny to get to all of this, and I decided to use this the same color for the nose. We could have done cheeks in pink. We could have done highlights. I kept it pretty simple this time around. I wanted to make sure that I was under an hour for the whole class without speeding it up, because I know at noon Patti is doing a gift bag and tag, and in case you guys were watching the video as it came out at 11, I did not want it to be overlapping anything. For my trees, like I mentioned earlier, I decided that I wanted to bring some texture. We could have crumpled it, we could have done ink smooshing. I decided to go with the same green, and I keep adding a little bit of my wash up in the top with the browns and a little bit of the green. And you see, look how just a tiny bit of any of the other colors mixed in. It makes such a big difference on the type of green, if you're getting like a darker green or not. I am also coloring the ones that are going to be side, like they're coming out of the card. Super easy. Seriously, there is absolutely no skill to color these. You see, I even went super dark in there, and I love that green. That green that came out there was I think my favorite of the greens, and I was like making mental notes of what colors I can achieve with this watercolor set, which I am really maybe it was not in one of my top favorites before using it for this card, and it actually has come up in the top of some of my favorite watercolor sets. I do have a few Primo Marketing watercolor sets, and I love mixing colors like this and just playing. And sometimes the coloring the ephemera and stuff like that is where you can play and see what colors you can do, because I find a little bit boring just making swatches. So here is a look to our trees. They're all nice in color. They're not dry because I use pretty good amount of water on those. And oh, here is where I am coming back with my Distress Oxide, and this is the Espresso Ground. I think it is Ground Espresso, sorry. And I am just making it be a little bit darker. I wish I had gone even a little bit darker than this. But I still like it. I think what it needed, and I might still do it, is go and do a little bit of white splatter to create some snow effect. And then on top of those splatters, I could add teeny tiny bling to make it sparkly, or maybe even some stickles. That would be fun too. See how everything just, the contrast of that darker edge, it just makes everything just uh, alive. It really does. Like, it brings everything into perspective, and it just makes it look everything so much brighter. I am adding a little bit of splatters, nothing big on here, because remember, we did a little bit of splattering already, but I just wanted a little bit more. If you are one of those people that splatters the same direction like I do all the time, just turn that paper so all the splatters don't look like they're coming in from the same side. Unless you're doing like a snow background, then you might want that. And then I had a little bit of that brown left over, so I'm dipping my trees into it and just getting some extra color. And now these are really, really wet, but just let them dry. I didn't even let them dry because I didn't want to just sit down here and watch me dry them up. But like I said, you could have crumpled them. You could have done so many extra textures with them. When I glue them, do notice that I'm putting most of my glue into the center because I kind of want them to curl up a little bit with all that water, and I know they will. And I'm really liking the way this looks. I just wish there was a little bit more snow. Because he is walking on the snow. Oh, about walking on the snow. Here it comes. Yes, perfect. I am bringing my Supra Color Soft 2 by Caran d'Ache, my gray color. This is my medium gray. And I'm just making some hills. Like, for a shadow. Like, then his shadow. And then I'm even going to make a little area like he was walking there. So there's like little areas where he stomped on the snow, which I think is so cute. And just bringing a little bit of water and just blending those together. Yes, I do have brown in my paintbrush, and I'm okay with it. If you're not okay with it, clean those brushes. Make sure that it's super clean so you get the true color of that pencil or color that you are adding, and that is totally fine. I actually like to mix my colors, like I said before, so I am even just going a little bit here and there. I am probably would have added even more of the lines, like a darker, like another layer, because I wish there was more contrast. But that is just me. That is my aesthetic and the way I like it. But it's up to you. So we are gluing these guys down. I really like how our trees turned out. Let me know if you have a favorite tree that you like to use over and over in your scenes, or if you're going to give this a try. Let me know if you're going to give this a try. And if you do, I would love it if you tag me so I can see your little pine trees. And let me know if you like the idea of using the waste to create the pine trees on the side. We are almost done with this card. And it really is a pretty simple card to put together. But so much more that you can do with it. You can add so many details and make this even a more fabulous card. It's up to you. Like, again, you can make little details for the clothes. You could do splatters for snow. You could do some paste. You could bring the birch tree stencil and move it a little bit off, like offsetting the original part that you did, and add a little bit of paste, like white paste, to look like it's snow on the birch trees. So many details that you could add. We could add stickles, we could add snow, you could even add little ornaments. Like, it's up to you. And then we are gonna put this on a card base. So remember, this is your Krafty cardstock. And then on top of that, we are gonna stamp the sentiment. And I do love this sentiment because he looks like he is coming to give you a hug. This ginormous tool that you're looking at right now is my ATG tape. It's a professional tape gun that people that do framing use. I love it. I have right now a love-hate relationship with it because the cartridges are going, like the tape rolls are going outrageous in price unless you buy like 100 of them. But I don't want 100 of them. Well, here we are. I am using my mat to make sure that we have a pretty close to frame around all the areas. Again, this is our original card. This is our new card. And this is Warm Hugs. That is the tiny little stamp that we're going to get. Super cute stamps. The bears are adorable. The sentiments, oh my god, you guys can use these sentiments over and over and over. They don't need to be necessarily Christmas related or holiday related. Yes, there is the Christmas greetings, but this one with warm hugs, you can send somebody warm hugs and I don't know, be a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. So keep an eye and show us some ideas and let us know if you have any ideas on the sentiments in here. Like, I really love how this turned out. And it is a little bit of a different look than our original card, but it's pretty close. So I really hope that you enjoy our cards today. We have 5 classes. Yes, we have 5 classes through the day. In all of them, we have some challenges. We, of course, have the sales that are going up to 50% off on some of our holiday stamps and stencils. Get your hands on those. Remember that there's also some stamps that are from Throwback Thursday that are on sale. So keep an eye on those and grab them while you can. There is also our brand new release for pre-orders. So please let us know and enjoy this weekend. Remember to stay safe and remember to follow and like. Thank you. And if you have any questions, let me know. Bye.